What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to show you how to replace an ignition switch and why you want to replace an ignition switch in a 8793 Foxbody. 79 to 86 is similar, but there's a couple differences. Obviously the interior is different, so the steering column is different, but we're going to be putting a new one in. These run about 20 bucks, give or take. You can see this right here is a new one. This has the updated with the clip, because what happens is these separate the plastic from the metal, and it causes the contacts to shift apart, which then causes a bunch of no starts and other miscellaneous things. So it's a very easy job to do. It takes about a half hour, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I would not hesitate to spend $25 to do this. Also, if your car has an older one, it may just be worth putting a newer one in anyways, just to avoid the issue on the side of the road or whatever. So, stay along, we gotta get this done so that we can get this car out of here and back to my buddy. And this is one of the last things we need to do to get it back on the road. So, stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see here, I've already turned the steering column apart. It's very simple. This is a tilt column, but it should be similar for others. You should have a clamshell like so, and then your key would be on this side. No. Yes. The key would be, this is how it would be in the car. Your blinker switch or multifunction switch, your key would be on this side, and then your push to release the key. So there's 3 Phillips screws here, and you just have to remove those, separate these pieces. And then there's this piece right here, which has 2 screws, which goes beneath the clamshell. And then you have full access to your ignition switch. Now this job is pretty simple tools. The only tool I believe you need is these are Torx bolts that are on the ignition switch holding it in there. So let me jump in the car and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so right now we're going under the steering column. And as you can see right here is our ignition switch, and there's zip ties on it. This is an old school trick to temporarily fix them, as the zip ties squeeze like I said, the metal and the plastic together to try to bridge those contacts together. And that's a temporary fix, and we had to rip the steering column apart to find some power for our coil. And in doing so, we noticed it had zip ties. And then once we started messing with the wires, it moved it enough that it was now a problem. So that's just an old school fix, guys, or temporary fix. So if you see zip ties, then I would definitely recommend replacing it. We're also going to remove this bezel. So there's 2 screws down here, and then up in the dash, there's 2 ones back here. So we're gonna remove that to try to gain access, a little bit better access. As you can see, the torque bolts are right here. I believe they're Torx, they may be Allens. But let's get that off, and then we'll get back quick. I just wanted to show you guys my little trick to getting these 2 bolts out. Is I just use a socket that has a screw. I have a whole kit right here with sorted sockets with different tips. And I just use that socket with a Phillips head to access those 2 bolts because the windshield's there. Also, we'll have to pull both connectors on this side and on this side, and the connectors out of the back to fully remove this panel. Okay, so as you can see, we've gotten this gauge bezel removed, and now we have complete access to our ignition switch. I was wrong before about the Torx. These are actually inverted Torx, so that's the specialty tool that you'll need. As you can see, the little pin in the center. If you really didn't have inverted Torx, you could probably try to drill out the pin. I wouldn't recommend it. I just recommend waiting until you get the right tool. But yeah, let's get this out of here and get the new one. We've got the old one out. Just to be clear, those were T27 inverted Torx bits. And as I was pulling the connector out, I just want to show for the people that don't know what I'm talking about, this is what happens. So see this crease right here? That's where it's pulling apart, and then the contacts lose, they start breaking apart, and that's what causes all your problems for no starts and all that. So let's get the new one installed. There you have it. Our old one with the split in it is out. Our new one's installed. It's a very simple process. It takes about a half hour. But there we go. Just like that, our ignition switch has been replaced. Putting the dash back together is the exact same, just in reverse of how you took it apart. Pretty simple, straightforward job. Now, the reason you want to replace the ignition switch is if you've seen it zip tied, the old school fix, and because they do start to separate over time and come apart. If you never take your steering column apart, the issues you would have is a no start issue. So if you have a no start issue and your battery checks out good, your starter checks out good, and everything else checks out good, the last thing you should check is your ignition switch and take a look at that and see if it's falling apart. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be it for this video. We have a little bit more work to do to this car. I don't know if it'll be filmed or not. And then, like I said, I got a bunch of other projects got going on. So I hope this helped out. Check out my other videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, please subscribe. Comment, like, let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.